Welcome to Try Swim Coach. This is Kevin, and this is episode number 103. And I am flying solo today. I just wanted to make this a really short podcast and talk a little bit about fitness as a triathlete, and then an upcoming webinar that we have on Tuesday, September 20th. So if you are listening to this, I'm releasing it on Sunday, September 18th. So if you hear it beforehand and you want to get signed up for that, the website for the sign up is thefittriathlete.com, thefittriathlete.com. We'll have a link to that in the show notes. But just to talk a little bit about the reason why we decided to do this webinar, and it's going to be an hour long. We're going to give a lot of information about general fitness and then fitness for specifically for triathlons. It's not so much how to train for a triathlon or specifically racing techniques or training techniques, although we do have a lot of tips on specific workouts and things like that to save time, save energy, and to really do the right thing for your body and instead of just for racing. But the reason that this whole thing got started is that I just run into people all the time that are doing triathlon, that anywhere from beginner to advanced level triathletes, people that are just starting their first race and up to people that are seasoned veterans that really need help with the fitness area. And I'm not talking about necessarily their racing, because some of them actually are competitive and are even placing on podiums and things like that. But there are a lot of things that I come across that I see that people get injured, sick, burned out, they end up quitting, or they end up not having a long career, and they are overweight, tired all the time, trying to squeeze in workouts, all that kind of stuff. And I really don't like to see that, because I think that people should be happy, they should be enjoying what they're doing, they should be getting results, not just results in terms of better times, but also fitness results. So are you getting healthier? Is triathlon leading to more health, or is it leading to worse health, which I've seen a lot. So I really want to get this webinar out there and get some of these myths dispelled and get some things out there that can help people right away. So I'll talk about that. So we're going to have 4 pillars. It's the title is The 4 Pillars of Optimal Health and Fitness for Triathletes. So the first pillar that we talk about that gets really overlooked is psychology, and we're going to get into that on a deeper level. But basically, what is your why? Why did you start doing triathlons, and what is your goal in continuing to do them? Really get down to that, and then you've really got something there with the motivation aspect. And also, the second part of this is the self-acceptance. So a lot of people kind of overlook this deep psychology. Is the purpose that you're doing this, is it to prove something, or is it to enjoy yourself, get healthy, maybe have some fun competition, that kind of thing? So getting into the psychology will be the kind of first pillar and the most important part. And then we have the nutrition aspect. And most people get this wrong, and it's pretty easy to see that. If you go to these races, most of the races are sponsored by these high-carb companies that are putting out bars and gels and soft drinks and things that are loaded with sugar. And we want to talk about that and when that can be useful, and when to kind of do your own thing and stay more on the path of whole foods versus eating the packaged sugary delicious treats at races. So the second one was nutrition, and then the third one is rest, recovery, and sleep. So this is an area that also gets overlooked, and we want to make sure that this is one of the pillars that triathletes have, that they keep this as an important aspect, actually vital aspect of their training, because if you're not resting and recovering properly and your sleep is poor, then you're really not doing yourself any good by working out at all. So we'll talk about that a little more. And then the last one is workouts, and this is where people often overdo it. So there's the overdoing it, and then there's the type of workouts. So are you burning fat when you're training, or are you burning carbohydrates? And you really want to be in that fat burning zone. A lot of times people think they're going to lose weight with doing something like triathlon. And we'll give you some tips on maximizing your results and minimizing your training time. So the webinar will be live on Facebook on September 20th at 6 p.m. Pacific Time, US. So if that is something that you can possibly get to on a live event, that would be awesome, because we're going to be giving away some prizes. and we're going to have some surprises in addition during the webinar. So, and it's going to be an hour long, and we're going to have some Q&A at the end. So if you can jump on the webinar, I'll have a link out. So if you sign up on the list at thefittriathlete.com, we will be sending you a link as to where to join. And if you absolutely want it, if you want this information and you absolutely cannot make it for some reason, maybe you live in Australia and it's the middle of the night, or it's just not a convenient time for you, we will have a replay up for just a couple days after the event. We'll keep that replay up so that you can view it, but I highly, highly, highly recommend and encourage you to get on the live call. We'll have a lot of people on. We already have, the last time I checked, it was 784 people that have registered for this event. And that was just an email I sent out a couple days ago. And so if you want to get on this, I'm going to limit it in the next day or so. I'm going to limit the number of people because I don't want too many people. Probably when we get over like 1,000, 1,200, I'm going to start to limit it. So I would get on this as soon as you can. And I really look forward to having you on. Coach Chris will also be on, and he'll be shedding his wisdom on some of the topics. So we are looking forward to having a great time and having you there. And that's all I had for today in terms of the Fit Triathlete. We will continue on this theme ongoing, and I have another guest coming up in a couple weeks for the podcast, and I think you're really going to like him. So stay tuned for the next podcast, which will be out in the beginning of October, after we get into this kind of off-season area, and we're past, or probably around the same time as the Ironman Triathlon in Hawaii, which is coming up at the beginning of October. So I hope all is going well out there for you, and we look forward to seeing you on this webinar. Take care, have a great week of training, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for listening to another episode covering swimming and triathlon mastery. To get your free online swim clinic, just go to tryswimlessons.com. Give us your name and email, and we'll have session number 1 off to you right away. Begin your process of befriending the swim and laughing at the water now.